Good morning, Matt Groover here. Sacrifice is a fairly absolute act. It's the loss of something or the offering of something, and you count it as a complete loss. It's an offering of some kind. We see in the Old Testament, Abraham would bring animals and they'd be split in two, and he would lay them on the ground before the Lord in worship. And in the midst of that offering, God would come down in fire and come through the midst of those halves, cut in half. You'll see a couple of times in Abraham's life where that happens. When we think of sacrifice, we think of that offering. And it's interesting that if you fast forward to the New Testament, you see offering mentioned and you see, love mentioned. It says in 1 Corinthians that if we give our body as an offering to save a life but don't have love, it profits me nothing. So there are sacrifices that can be made, but without love, they don't really count. So we move to 2 Corinthians chapter 5 in the end of the chapter. And this is Paul speaking regarding Christ. For God made Christ, who never sinned, to be the offering for our sin, the sacrifice, the atonement, for our sin, so that we could be made right with God through Christ. There's no other more significant sacrifice than the sacrifice that Jesus made on the cross for the sins of humanity. But that does not take away the power of sacrifices that we may make in our own lives for the sake of others. They matter. Yes, it does say in Scripture that I desire mercy rather than sacrifice, because mercy involves love, and that's God's heart. But we can also make sacrifices in love, and those are powerful. And Jesus spoke of that in John as well, where he speaks of laying down your life for the sake of another. So on this Memorial Day, let's be thankful that we have freedoms. We can still speak the gospel of Jesus Christ. We can share the love of God openly. And no matter what happens on the planet, wherever we go, there are sacrifices that are made on our behalf that benefit us. And we should forever be thankful for those, however those manifest. Let's make sacrifices in our lives. Let's make them in love and make them count, because God honors such. Blessings upon you. Have a great day.